Hi.
Hey, Jay.
Hi.
Hey, Jay.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Doctor.
This is madness. This is...
Mommy and Daddy are yelling at you.
What's an Eiffel Tower, stupid?
Playing with my tits.
No, fuck your opening.
Who's Bunghole Bunny?
It's really a bad idea not to talk about those things, not to really have some kind of dialogue about what's going on.
Whatever shall we talk about?
Hi.
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 I have to change modes now. Let us know in the chat room if you can hear us. I don't know how long we have left because we spend so much time doing nonsense and I can't keep up with the chat room. So I don't know how long because now we only have 40 minutes. So when it stops, I'm going to do another one and send out. I'm going to put the link to it right in the chat room, except for you, Jay Harris. I'll put that on Facebook. So,
Cool.
Okay. That way you can rejoin and we can start over again.
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
what pain in the ass, I guess.
How was
The
everybody's
fun free account limitation of Zoom?
Right.
How was everybody's week?
It was a week.
Yeah, it was a week. They're all beginning to run together, and it just feels like I'm home forever.
Actually, I put deodorant on today. It's been a long time.
Ooh, what was the occasion?
Believe it or not,
wow.
I was going to the dollar store and Lowe's.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It burned! It burned!
Right. And Lowe's, oh my gosh, that's like a madhouse. Anytime we've been over that way.
It's the only it's one of the only stores open.
Well, you know what? I kind of totally agree with that.
Oh yeah.
There are no stores that we go to other than like, can you mute yourself when you do that, Jim? Other than like, you know, Michael's or Joanne Fabrics, there is no store that we go to that's closed. So I don't know what everybody's bitching about. Like
Well,
it was acting like Lowe's is the only place open. It's like Home Depot's open, you know, Walmart's open, Target's open, you know, like all these stores like grocery stores are open.
Anywhere that sells groceries for sure, and anywhere that's a drugstore, which means a lot of the big stores are open and you can get other stuff too. And then, you know, Lowe's and Home Depot, I guess they're considered essential as well, which is, you know, man, being home is when I've noticed all these little things around the house. It's like, oh yeah, I should fix that. So that's a trip to Lowe's or Home Depot.
yeah.
Get something to you know, fix something around the house, and I'm guessing that's what's going on with everybody.
Yeah, well, we went to Lowe's. I got out of work at noon, so I came home and around 1 o'clock. By the time, you know, I got my shit together and whatever, we went over to Lowe's. There was no way I was going to stand in that long a line. You know, what I mean? I was just like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try and get there like when they open at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And see if we
Our weather finally broke here, so it's finally warm.
Yeah.
So everybody and their brother was out.
Because we all know now the coronavirus is going to magically disappear because it's hot out.
Oh yeah. According to some, it's all a hoax.
Even though Florida and Texas have been this hot for a long time, and it hasn't gone away there yet.
And people are dying faster than ever in both places.
But what do I know?
Yeah. Sad. I know, yeah. But what do the numbers say? Like it, that's the part that just blows me away. It's like these are numbers. They're not. They're not just guesses.
Well, you know the problem. The reason that we have so many people getting sick is because we keep testing them.
We just shouldn't test anybody, and then everybody would be fine.
That's literally what Trump said today.
I know. Yeah.
No. Now, how far do they stick the Q-tip up your nose?
Oh my God! One of the guys at work told me about.
It's your brain.
Pretty much.
I had a test done because I had a little medical procedure, and they had to make sure I was cleared before that. And oh my God, I've never felt something so uncomfortable. And it was a weird kind of painful, but not in the typical like
Yeah.
painful way. It's just so uncomfortable because that like passage up there is incredibly tender. And
Right.
the nurse counted backwards from 10. She's like 10, 9, 8. And that's the longest countdown you have ever felt as she's like spinning this Q-tip. You've got your head back like as far as you can, and that thing's jammed all the way up into what feels like your brain.
I had
And, yeah, it was very uncomfortable. I was clear.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I had pneumonia years ago, and they tried to give me a nasal endoscope through my nose, and my nasal passage was not wide enough. All right. And I just remember the guy pushing and pushing, and I'm like screaming.
Ow,
right?
yeah. That
He
sounds
said,
awful.
Wait a minute. He tried the other one. All right. And it's the same thing happened. All right.
Ow.
So they said, we're just going to have to go down your throat. All right. I woke up the next morning. I had 2 black eyes like you would not believe.
Oh my God.
I looked like
Yeah.
fucking death. I don't know what the hell happened to me. I didn't know they were all it was all connected that way, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
I
your
had
tear
bruises.
ducts connect in there as well, and all that tissue up in there is tissue behind and under your eyes. So
Yeah. Well, that,
oof.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that hurt.
Make up a
So,
really-
I bet it hurt for a while.
Did you make up a really good story of how you got the black eyes?
no.
Oh, you should.
It's so I had 2 at the same time. And
I know.
I have this, you know, when I first saw them doing the coronoscope, I was just like, I hope the fuck they don't break that fucking thing in my nose. And then they have to like dig it out with tweezers or,
Well, don't worry, you can't get a test. So.
I know.
Martin and I, if we end up with a bruise or a bump, we usually just say our husband beat us up, and it's in really poor taste, I know, but
It's only funny because it's not true.
right, exactly. So people can usually tell when I say, "Oh yeah, Martin, like smacked me a few times" or something, and they go, "Oh yeah, ha."
No, well, you should always end it with, "But I learned my lesson."
I'll never do that again.
I'll never do that again. Yeah.
Fuck him and his chickens. Oh well.
Oh my God, it's so hot.
What?
It's hot in here.
Open the door.
I don't know.
It's not like the kids are running through the streets. Oh, the windows are closed too.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't opened those windows yet.
Yeah.
So they can't hear us at all, or what?
Who?
The chat room.
Oh, are they saying they can't hear us?
Well, Veritable said something about where's the show audio being broadcast. I'm hearing nothing over Pride 48. And then Ed said,
Tell me that.
so we're here, Sans show posting porn.
Hold on a minute. Let me check.
No.
Let me check my preferences. Do I have to keep fucking redoing this every time? Master. Oh, you know what? I know. Wait. Okay, now tell me if you can hear me. I apparently have to reset this thing every time I come on. So tell me if in the chat room if you can hear us. We had a lovely conversation. It'll be recorded. You can watch the first 10 minutes on YouTube.
They can hear us now.
Now we can hear you. Okay.
My husband and I have using each other, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, we were talking about battered
gay syndrome.
Battered wives, whatever.
Wait a minute. What was it? Wasn't there a joke with battered wives?
No,
Oh, I don't know.
Not in white.
If there was, it was in bad taste.
Yeah, it really was. It was like something like battered. Was it battered wives? And I was like, no, thank you. I like battered chicken or something. I don't know. It's a play on the word battered,
Right. Okay.
Dipped and fried.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
love a good battered chicken. Yeah.
Oh,
Batter almost anything and I'll eat it. So
oh,
and deep fry it.
Pretty much.
oh. Speaking of,
Air fryer. No.
oh,
Mhm.
are you upset? Are you upset that New Orleans is canceled, Jay?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sad, but you know, those boys we'll see who the healthy ones are who live through the coronavirus. And there'll be a there'll be a healthy batch of them when we return, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Handstands will still be around.
Who?
Yeah,
Oh.
he seems pretty healthy. I hope Billy makes it. He's still my favorite. So.
Oh, okay. That's who I always call Mr. Handstands.
No. That was Steven.
Oh, okay. I thought that
Was
was
the handstand guy, like the
Oh,
military
right.
little guy. Yeah.
Oh, those
Billy
guys.
Billy was the super friendly one that recognized me from the prior year, and like
Oh.
he was there almost every night. So.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
I had them mixed up. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
You should send them a card.
Sorry, Billy, gonna miss you this year.
Yeah, just you have somebody take a picture of you and the dog. Remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for these people
But
like, to survive on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Put like $20 in ones in there for him and tell him to grope himself a few times to and think of me.
Wow.
Oh no,
Dirty old man.
No, you send,
Well,
Yeah.
no, you send them your email and tell them, oh, that wouldn't work for you. Never mind. A stroking video, but apparently that wouldn't be
Do an audio.
Tell them to do a talk dirty to me audio.
Yeah, there you go.
That would work.
So
We can FaceTime or Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited. I'm going to start my crochet lessons tomorrow.
Oh, you
over
will?
Zoom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what color your yarn is?
Yes, I've got 3 to choose from. I've got a heather gray, a something denim that my husband said like is like the color of blue just changes, so it's kind of a multi-blue color that's like, you know, reflective of denim.
Yeah.
And then there's a one called peacock feather that has got purples, blues, yellows,
Oh, how pretty.
browns in it. So yeah. So, but my first thing I'm going to learn to make is a granny square, apparently. So
oh, okay.
I don't know. That must be a common thing. But
it's a standard, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
I assume you can make things out of it, or do you know, Gavin? Do you make a bunch of them and then put them together somehow or something?
Yeah,
to do
normally.
like a quilt.
Well, you could do like you can continue it and make it bigger. Or
Oh, I
can
see. You just
do-
keep working on it and make it
or-
bigger
well,
and
most
bigger
pe-
and bigger.
Well, most people do like, I don't know, 4 rows, and then they, leave it as a square and then make a whole bunch of them and connect them together. So that's
Okay.
what most people do.
Yeah.
But
When you
can-
like
can
once
do it
you
that way.
put a bunch of like you do them all as individual pieces, like tie them off, and then afterwards you go back and like somehow crochet them all together.
Right.
Okay. Huh. Sounds complicated, but
It's not.
yeah.
You may just
It's-
want to do one
it's-
big one.
Yeah, it's basically like seems complicated until you've done it once or twice.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, okay, well, it's a lot simpler than I thought it would be. So
Yeah. Well, we're starting and doing like one session on Saturday and one on Sunday to try to, get some basics down. And then I don't know how many more lessons it'll take, but she seemed to think she could get me through a lot of it. She sent me these little samples that were taped to index cards, and they're numbered so I can tell kind of what it should feel like at the different stages.
Okay.
So,
Was she blind too?
yes.
Okay.
And she typed up a Word document that explained each sample and what it was and what some of the terms were and all that. So I have to study tomorrow before we start. But
she's gonna
Yeah, it
be.
should be fun.
Is now, Gavin, do you ever use a crocheting plan or the schematics?
Oh, you mean like in written form?
Yeah, can you read them?
I can, because a lot of it's mostly common sense, but
Well,
um
is it like knitting plans where
you
it's
have
like
to know
1K, 2P, 1K, 2P, 3 times?
you have to know what the, like, you know, the different terms are, like DC and
Okay.
you know, like double crochet, single crochet is, you know,
Okay.
they're abbreviations.
Hmm.
And I'm terrible with abbreviations. I've learned everything I did off of video, so for me to, you know,
I wonder if videos would work. I guess if I found the right ones, and maybe they would verbally explain, but video doesn't seem like a great way for me to learn. So,
no, probably not.
especially if they're showing you and saying, do this like this, you know, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't
And
help.
a lot of people on like YouTube and stuff, they're not very good at what they're doing. So you have to like go back, like you miss shit, you know what I mean? Like, why is your hand in front of it? Like,
Yeah.
kind of-
You know, that's funny that you said that about YouTube. A lot of people that are on there are not good about it, are not always the best, but they are putting things out there. Like, I've decided that I want to learn, that I want to paint. And excuse me, I was looking at some YouTube videos, and all I want to know is like how to paint a cloud, right? And there's this mechanical, you know, that mechanical voice you might hear every once in a while on
yeah.
some of these BuzzFeed. That voice, or there's somebody using that voice to describe how to do a cloud, and it's the prettiest cloud, the most specific. Okay, and there's a lot of these, you know, Bob Ross type people, you know, trying to explain how to do the cloud, and their clouds look like, I don't know, wadded up toilet paper, you know.
Pretty much.
Hmm. And so if you go through and listen in the middle of somebody's crocheting lesson, you might have a better idea rather than sitting through a 20-minute video,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean, Jim knows that the one I'm working on right now,
Hmm.
it's really a lot more complicated than anything I've done before.
Oh, the butterfly,
The snowflakes.
oh, is that what they are? I'm sorry.
No, that's mean.
I knew they were snowflakes. I'm sorry.
Those are the ones that you're attaching to the squares of material, right? That you're gonna quilt with or whatever.
No, it's actually what is it? A Jim and
A
octagon?
hexagon.
Hexagon.
Oh, a hexagon. Okay.
Yeah, it's really. Do you have? You don't have them here, right?
That's right.
I do.
They're actually they're really cool. I know 2 weeks ago he put a picture up of his blanket. That's a. Oh, you see, Jay? He's holding it up. It looks like it looks like a snowflake, a white snowflake, in the center of a purple hexagon. 1, 2. Hexagon is 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Octagon is
8. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, you got to do the snowflake first, and then you have to go in and fill in around it, and it's like 4 different stitches to do it, and it's just like, and it's not all, every row is not the same.
You're whipping them out fast enough. I admire you.
Now that after like the 10th one, like, you know, I kind of, now I can remember how to do it without even looking at the video. So,
well,
but it took a while.
Yeah.
See that? I admire you for it.
But
now, Jim, do you do anything crafty?
No, I'm
or is
usually
most of that your cooking?
cooking and cleaning.
he can
You know,
Okay.
once my cleaning is finished, then I'll sit down, and that's when I want to. I used to knit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of things around here that needs to get done first before I can put that kind of time in to it, right? Gavin? Why are you laughing?
Mhm.
There's nothing ever to, seriously, you laugh.
Well, you get stuff done, sort of.
I do get things done. Anyway, I did get my garden. Most of my garden is in. Where I want to put, if I don't find Italian frying peppers, I'm going to put the cucumbers in the garden and not along the fence.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know why I want to grow cucumbers this year. I just know they're usually prolific, and I need something to put in the empty. We've been going through a lot of pickles lately, so I just might as well cut them thin and stick them in the pickle jars with onions.
I just planted some cucumbers myself.
Did you? Oh, what's with the bees,
nice.
Jay? Are you growing bees? Or
No, but I've been wanting to do it for a long time.
Are you allowed to do it where you are?
I'm not sure. That's what I have to look into.
Oh, you want to do have a beehive?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That sounds neat.
Yeah, I have some friends that do it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they hard to care for, or?
I don't think so, but I don't know enough about it. I just find them.
Okay.
Just watch out for the murder hornets.
Yeah, I don't think they've cited any of those on the East Coast yet. So.
No.
Yeah.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Would you go into honey production? Is that for the purpose of producing honey, or?
That would be a nice side benefit, but not to the point where I'd need to, where I'd want to sell it or anything. Just kind of.
That would be a lot. One hive gives you a lot of honey.
Yeah.
But they're usually beekeeping, like farms. They'll call you up. It's like, look, I need pollinators.
Right.
You go and you stick your hive out in their area for like 2 or 3 weeks or something.
Oh, interesting. I know very little about bees, so you can transport the hive, the whole thing, and leave it somewhere for a little while, and then bring it back to your home or whatever, and they always come back to it.
I think it's within so many miles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They follow the scent. They're like dogs. Only more reliable.
Yeah, they leave like a trail of pheromones or something.
Yeah, and it was so funny because I knew you put something out there on Facebook, and I started reading. Somebody posted Delaware's laws,
right?
And I started reading them, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" There's not really a lot of laws there, not a lot of rules put out by the state. But
I think the only thing you really have to do, you probably have to check your local city or whatever and make sure they allow it. But then other than that, you just have to register your hive with I guess they have a state apiary specialist. And you just have to register your hive with them.
Cool. How's your spider doing?
She's good.
Cool. Is she growing quite a bit, or?
Oh yeah.
Does she eat bees?
How big is she now?
That's a tough one. I guess maybe from stretched out one leg to diagonally across to the other leg is maybe 5 or 6 inches.
Oh,
wow.
Wow, that's big.
That's When you first got her, she was quarter size,
she was a little hatchling. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the size of a quarter. Was
it? Maybe not even that.
Maybe yeah.
How long have you had her?
I think it's been 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a little less.
How big will she get?
Well, I haven't determined 100% yet that it's a female. If it's a female, she'll get bigger than the males do, and she'll live a lot longer. This species is a pretty good size when they get to an adult. It's one of the bigger ones.
Wow. Okay. And does part of it depend on how big of a environment you give them? Because I know some critters like fish, and I don't know if this applies to spiders, will grow.
No, I don't think
depending
so
on
much.
how much
If
space
it was
they
tiny,
have.
maybe, but no, I don't think it's determined as much by the size of the container.
Okay. So you just have to make sure you give her enough space. How big of a terrarium does she have?
She's in a fairly small one right now. I would say maybe 6 or 7 inches long by maybe 5 or 6 inches high.
Oh yeah, that's not
Yeah, they don't
real big
require a
for
lot of
how
space.
big she is. Do they just not move a whole lot when they're not?
No, they're not very.
eating or
Other
whatever?
than when she's hunting, she's not. She climbs up on the walls and stuff a bit, but
Oh, in her cage?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Do you get her out very often?
No, I've only had her out a handful of times.
Now,
Okay.
is this variety like a desert dwelling or?
She is from I think Argentina and Peru
Oh, so
is where
no.
this
Oh,
particular
okay.
species
Oh,
is from.
she's good at housekeeping.
So if you were to like create
Oh,
an
Jim.
aquarium, if you were to build an aquarium or whatever, you would probably put like tropical plants and stuff.
Yeah, you mean just to kind of make it look like where she's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, like broken cans and fucked up
But they don't.
cars.
I mean, a lot of tarantulas either live in trees or they burrow, and she doesn't. She's one of those that doesn't really do either one. More just a ground dwelling spider. So
Okay.
Give her a yard gnome or a shoe or something. It's I was watching one of those shows about was it animals in Australia, the little critters, and there was this, I don't know, a spider that would hide in your shoes at night. Oh,
yeah.
and kill you.
And kill you, yeah, as soon as you get up in the morning. Yeah.
Did you ever see the little meme?
Black
Did you ever
widows do that.
Oh, did you ever see the meme? Not everything in Australia will kill. Not all animals in Australia.